Good day, and welcome to Mundo Amoral. .es. Cambridge Assessment English. Proficiency. Reading and use of English. Time 1 hour 30 minutes. Instructions to candidates. Do not open this question paper until you're told so to do. Write your name, center number, and candidate number on your answer sheets if they are not already there. Read the instructions for each part of the paper carefully. Answer all the questions. Read the instructions on the answer sheets. Write your answers on the answer sheets. Use a pencil. You must complete the answer sheets within the time limit. At the end of the test, hand in both question paper and your answer sheets. Information from candidates. There are 53 questions in this paper. Questions 1 to 24 carry 1 mark. Questions 24 to 30 carry up to 2 marks. Questions from 32 to 43 carry 2 marks. Questions from 44 to 53 carry 1 mark. Part 5. You're going to read an extract from a novel. For questions 31 to 36, choose the answer A, B, C, or D, which you think fits best according to the text. Mark your answers on the separate answer sheet. Lucy gets a new job in a newspaper. It was a precarious period for her, where her own fortunes were concerned. She had to rely on freelance work for 6 months after the Quality Weekly magazine folded. The regular salary check had always seemed derisively small, but now it was like lost riches. Doggedly, she wrote letters and telephoned and peppered editors with unsolicited articles and suggestions. Sometimes she struck lucky and got a commission. She wrote a profile of a woman politician who appreciated her fine-minded approach and tipped her off about the local government role in a complacent cathedral town. Lucy went there, investigated, talked to people, and wrote a piece exposing a rich cauldron of corruption which was snapped up by the national daily newspaper. This, in turn, led to a commission to investigate a controversial sitting of a theme park in the north of England. Her article was noticed by the features editor in search of something sharp and brazen on the heritage industry in general. She was getting a name for abrasive comment, for spotting an issue and ruminating upon it. Anxiously, she scoured press for hints of impending issues. In this rate, she saw, you needed not so much to abreast of things as ahead of them, lying in wait for sequences, ready to pounce. But an article sold every week or two did not pay the bills. She began to contemplate, bleakly, a return to the treadmill of proofreading in copy editing. And then one day she walked into the offices of the National Daily, which had taken her cauldron of corruption piece, and whose features editor had since looked kindly upon her. Having handed up a speculative piece of the latest educational theories she'd written, she fell into conversation with an acquaintance and learned that one of the paper's regular columnists had fallen foul of the editor and departed in a cloud of dust. The column, traditionally addressed to matters of the moment and written so as to provoke attention and controversy, was untethered, so to speak. Lucy made the necessary phone call before her nerve went. She was asked to submit a piece of the trial run which they published. Great, they said. We'll let you know, they said. Soon, they assured her. Really very soon. She chewed her nails a fortnight. A seasoned hack was given a trial run after her. She read his contribution, which she saw with absolute clarity, was succinct, incisive, and original, or just possibly anodyne, banal, and plotting. And then the phone call came. She'd have a weekly column with her own byline and her photograph, postage stamp size, next to it. There'd be a salary check and perhaps fame and success to follow that. Thinking more pragmatically, she realized that the job presented her with not only a wonderful opportunity, but also the inevitable pressure of keeping up with the twists and turns of events to which she must apply a perceptive commentary. "A start," she said to her mother, Maureen and Bruce, her stepfather. "It's a start anyway, but they could fire me at any moment." "Just let me try," said Maureen belligerently. "I think you're better with your hair a bit shorter. Or maybe that's not a very flattering picture. I think you're very clever. You did some lovely essays at school. I wonder if I've still got any of them somewhere." Later, when she was alone, Lucy thought that her appointment had probably been a piece of good fortune. She refused to allow the word luck. She was young yet, and there was something of a plum. She must have got the job on her merits, she told herself, along with whatever assistance there might have been from the inadequacies of others considered for the appointment, or the failure for the rivals to apply. What she was never to know was that, in fact, the editor had been on the verge of offering the column to Season Hack. Had been about to pick up the phone when the colleague he most disliked had walked into his office and spoken with satisfaction of the prospect of closer association with this old crony of his. The editor listened with some indignation, first at the assumption that this would be his decision, and then at the notion of this too ganging up under his nose. As soon as the colleague was out of the room, he reached for the phone and rang Lucy. And so it began, the time during which she was so feverishly hitched to the affairs of public life that in retrospect it was to seem as though she hustled from day to day with the onward rush of the news, denied any of the lethargy of individual existence.